Here's a story of a band who had a number of hit singles in 1965 and 1966. But the leader of the band had a bunch of family connections, and he didn't really want to use his last name to try to make things happen for the band. So what they did is they went and auditioned at Disneyland, and they got the gig, and they wowed audiences playing at Disneyland. And one night, a record producer came down and listened to them and thought they were great and signed them to a contract. But with one stipulation, he convinced the drummer and the lead singer, who were the same person, that he needed to use his last name in an effort to help sell more records. Because you see, this young man was the son of Jerry Lewis. Yeah, this is the story of Gary Lewis and the Playboys. So let's drop the needle. The producer brought Gary Lewis and the Playboys into the studio to record what would be a huge hit for them called This Diamond Ring. But the problem was the producer didn't think that the band was good enough to actually play on the record. So he hired a bunch of session musicians who went by the name The Wrecking Crew, and included people like Leon Russell on keyboards and Hal Blaine on drums. But here's where the controversy starts. Because years later, Gary Lewis would always claim that the Gary Lewis and the Playboys played on every track that they ever recorded, including This Diamond Ring. Now, that might be technically true, but in reality, that song would have never been a hit without the contributions of the Wrecking Crew. But a hit it was. Ed Sullivan decided to bring Gary Lewis and the Playboys onto his TV show, which was going to be a big break for them. But Sullivan had a stipulation that any rock band coming onto his show had to perform live. And Gary Lewis and the Playboys couldn't actually perform This Diamond Ring up to snuff. So what were they going to do? Well, I don't know if this actually happened, but it may have been that Jerry Lewis pulled a few strings with Ed Sullivan, but Sullivan changed the rules for this one band. And what happened when they played on the Ed Sullivan Show, Gary Lewis sang live to pre-recorded tracks, and the rest of the band just mimed their performance. Nonetheless, it was a big hit, and This Diamond Ring quickly soared to #1. They followed this up with a bunch of smash singles. Count Me In, Save Your Heart for Me, Everybody Loves a Clown, She's Just My Style, and Sure Gonna Miss Her. And then the last one was Green Grass. Then in 1967, Gary Lewis got drafted into the Army. Now, when he was discharged in 1968, they tried to catch lightning in a bottle once again, and they re-recorded Brian Hyland's Sealed with a Kiss. It did okay, but they never really recaptured that magic that they had before, and in 1970 they disbanded. Now, as usual, on Spotify, I've created a playlist so you can listen to the hits that Gary Lewis and the Playboys had. Now, Gary Lewis and the Playboys may not be a huge part of classic rock history, but in a very short period of time, they had 12 top 40 singles, 5 gold albums, and they appeared on a number of TV shows. So, from Disneyland to the top of the pops for a short period of time, not bad. Anyway, thanks for watching, and keep a-rockin'. If you liked this episode, hit the like button, and you can also leave me a comment down below, and I'll respond to you. If you subscribe, we'll let you know when future episodes come out.